So, what are electrical symbols and diagrams? Some history of electrical symbols and diagrams. The first electric circuit was invented by Alessandro Volta. Electrical diagrams are created to help design actual circuits. The diagram is a blueprint for an electric circuit you will build. These diagrams are pictures with symbols that have differed from country to country and have changed over time, but are now to a large extent internationally standardized. So, let me move that over so you can actually see it. Here are some common symbols you're going to see in electrical diagrams out in the field and in the program. Just some very common ones, especially the earth to ground and the fuse, the switch. You're going to see all those throughout this course. Alright, there are a few different styles of diagrams that you may run across. One of the most frequently used diagrams in motor control work is the ladder diagram, also known as a schematic diagram. That's going to be the one on the left where it says stop, start, and you see the motor. This diagram uses symbols to identify components and interconnecting lines to display the electrical continuity of a circuit. Ladder diagrams show how a circuit works logically and electrically. When troubleshooting or designing control circuits, we use ladder or schematic diagrams to represent how the circuit works, but these diagrams do not show how equipment is physically laid out, nor do they represent how things are wired in the real world. Two components might be right next to each other on the ladder diagram, but 50 feet apart in the real world. Wiring diagrams, also called connection diagrams, however, do show how equipment is laid out and the connections between them. That's going to be the one in the right corner. A wiring diagram shows the relative layout of the components and the wire connections between them. This type of diagram shows the physical relation to all devices in the system. The conductor terminations between these devices and are commonly used in motor control installations. I'll move that over so you can see the block diagram. Block diagrams are used to give a very vague idea of what an electrical circuit may look like. So you would only use a block diagram if you was just coming up with an idea for a circuit. You would use ladder diagram or schematic or a wiring diagram if you was actually going to wire up a circuit. So after watching this, I need you to look up common electrical symbols and make yourself familiar with them. It's just an easy Google. And look up simple schematic diagrams. Imagine how they would look wired into the real world.